What's up, what's up, what's up? What's happening, my friends, my family, and my fellow music makers and creators? I am Paul Neal, and I'm about to talk to you about my latest single. But before we get into that, I'll give you a brief history about who I am. I am Paul Neal, a multi-instrumentalist born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't want to say that I'm new to this music thing, but to be honest, I really am. I released my first single ever last March, and I went on to release an EP later on that year. I was there in September or October. A Christmas EP in December, of course. Starting this year in 2021, I've been releasing singles every 8 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks is the strategy that I've heard from like one of my favorite YouTubers now, Jesse Cannon. Shout out to you. The singles that I've been releasing, it's only been like 2 thus far, and I plan to release a whole lot more because I'm doing a long rollout of singles for this major project that I'm really working on. That I really do not want it to flop. I don't want it to flop. So I'm giving the algorithm a chance to really understand who my audience is, and I'm doing everything that I can in order to put myself in front of people to find better viewers and things like that. So this is a journey, and really I am a small artist, but there's nothing wrong with being a small artist. And all of the people who have just started their music journey and it hasn't kicked off the way that you want it to, I would just give you this one quote: the race is not given to the swift, is given to those who endure to the end. So keep creating, create, because that's all we can do. We were put on this world to create, so let's continue to do that. But with my small audience, I'm very appreciative at the end of the day. My single, Apathy, was dropped on May 22nd, which was my birthday, and I got a little over 100 streams on Spotify, and I'm on 2 Spotify playlists that I found using a platform called Soup, but I'll talk about that later as well. And I got slightly more streams on Apple Music. Not too much, not too fancy, but it's still something. And I appreciate everybody who has checked it out. If you haven't checked it out, obviously the song is linked in the bio, or you can click on the card above. But about that single, apathy is defined as lack of enthusiasm or lack of motivation, or like how I like to define it, the feeling of not feeling like doing anything. I did my best to tell my story because I truly believe when people understand the story behind your music, they'll probably resonate with it more or connect with it more. The song is pretty straightforward. It's just musical overall. There's a trombone solo, a guitar solo. It's like funk, soul type of vibes. And it's just a chorus. No verse, no nothing. Just chorus, solos, etc. Slightly has a summery feel, slightly has a lo-fi-esque feel, but however you like to perceive it, I'll let you be the judge of it because, that is what that is. But in order to promote it, I did a few things such as posting on IG stories, IGTV, Facebook, TikTok, using a service called Soup in order to get some type of coverage, whether that be blog coverage, playlists, etc. And to be honest, posting it on my birthday was one of the better things that I've done because it allowed me to get more streams than I usually would in a shorter amount of time. When I posted it on my birthday, I used that as an opportunity for everybody who told me a personal message of happy birthday. And I don't mean social media. I mean like legitimately talk to me, call me, text me, DM, etc. They told me happy birthday and I replied, thank you. Have you checked out the single? Thank you. Did you know it was release day as well? Or something like that. And I've asked their thoughts on the single. And I don't have no shame. I'm one of those people who don't mind texting people. I have a whole list of supporters and people who like my music. So I don't mind talking to them about my music. And I use this opportunity to just talk to everybody about the song. Everybody who was willing to listen. And I got a few responses back. Very appreciative for the people who responded back. And I'm going to talk about y'all very soon. One of the pre-release strategies that I did was posting on my IG story and then saving that IG story to an IG highlight. The way how I went about that, I posted a few photos from the photo shoot. I quoted one of the lyrics as the caption, and then right next to that quote, I put, check my story in all caps. From there, people clicked on my IG story, which was that call to action. So I used that IG story as a chance to tell the story behind what I was feeling when I was creating that song with everything going on, lackluster emotions, unmotivated, pandemic, I don't know. I just used that as an opportunity to really just let people know that, I'm human and I do feel this way. And the best way for me to really portray that is to use my talents, my God-given talents. And I put that in the song and I put it out to the world. So here's the video that I posted on my IG story, and as soon as you watch that, you will hear the responses that I got in return. So yeah, lately I've been feeling an overflow of emotion, and I guess I could just sum it up to graduating last fall with a degree in creative hustling, because that's pretty much what commercial music really was. It didn't guarantee no salary or nothing. Being in this pandemic and even just moving back home, moving in with my mom, it's just been a roller coaster. Everybody asking me what's going on, what's my plans, what am I doing? And I tell them I'm chasing my dreams, because at the end of the day, like, that's what I'm doing. I know emotions are contagious, so whenever anybody asks me if I'm good, my reaction is literally always, because I don't want them to see me sweat. I don't want them to feel any type of sadness or anything. But I have been feeling an overflow of emotion. The main emotion that I've been feeling is apathy, which can be defined as lack of enthusiasm or lack of interest. And I know plenty of people like in my age range have felt this before. You know what I'm saying? This emotion isn't necessarily new, and my story isn't necessarily unique. Like, everybody has gone through some sort of post-grad depression, not a term that I really like to use. The pandemic is taking a toll on all of us, you know what I'm saying? And we live in a social media age, so just being in this social media age, people aren't necessarily true to their vision or to their path or to their timeline, but I'm just trying to be. So, I mean, if this emotion has ever registered with you or resonated with you, then hit the link in my bio. It's pretty much what Apathy is the name of my upcoming single. And it's pretty much what the single is about. There's a line in it that says, "Doing nothing is such a relief." And it's just talking about how really we should just, or it's trying to display, not even talking about, but the feeling of it is trying to display how moving slow or calming down and just enjoying life for what it is could really just like save our souls. That's at least how I was feeling when I was creating it. So if this emotion really resonated with you, then please click the notification, you know what I'm saying? Share this, click the link in my bio, support. I'm dropping it on my birthday, which is in 7 days. So whenever anybody tells me happy birthday, I'm just going to be talking about the single. So I hope you... My homie told me, you ain't the only one. I just had a talk to my production team manager, and he was like, bro, you haven't been being as productive or on time at all. He says that part of that is due to past struggles with time management. And the reason of that is because he really just hasn't wanted to. He just feels like only doing what he can do. Only what is supposed to be done, quote unquote. It doesn't matter to aspire or anything. Just work a job and go home and do it all over again. It sucks. There's no other way around it, no way to look at it point blank. He doesn't know about anything. He says at some point he just wants to be a kid again. He lost interest in one thing and he would just pick up something else and keep picking up a new interest as the minutes go by. But that's part of it. Part of that is due to his attention span. And he was really just opening up to the fact that like the feeling of apathy is a true thing. And I mean, I don't think I'm the first person to talk about that, but I do feel like that's something that we should be talking about with our friends and that we should learn to accept, because it is okay to feel apathetic. One of my sisters told me, you got this. And the gag is, I'll always see through the fact that you say always whenever you're talking about you good or something like that. But I love hearing it because I know how emotions can ricochet off of one another. And it always tells me that you're still pushing, so I am proud of you. And when I talked about the piece of post-grad depression, she said, period, I'm going through that now, because child, I went through it hard not too long ago, so. My other homie said, can't wait. Everything you said resonated with me completely, and it's easy to get into that funk and hard to get out of it. But at some point, you grow tired of being complacent and start walking once more. Outside looking in, it will be hard to tell that you feel that way sometimes. Just know we all see what you're doing, bro, and keep up the grind. I appreciate it, bro. Good friend of mine said, bro, I feel you. I graduated 3-4 weeks ago, and my folks are constantly asking me, what are you doing? Have you found a job? Like, bro, let me breathe. And I said, say that. Enjoy this time, though. It's good not having pressing responsibilities. And she said, yeah, for sure. Definitely excited about this one though. My brother from another mother since like the 5th grade said, if you ever want to talk or let me know. Keep chasing your dreams though. At the end of the day, your happiness is the most important thing. And amen to that, because I'm a big advocate for happiness. But to continue, he said, I really hope you get out of this feeling of apathy, bro. And I'll definitely be listening to your new single and let me know what you're doing for your birthday as well. My sister's sister, so like my big sister's sister, I don't know how to describe that. She said, I definitely went through that post-grad depression. If your heart is where the music at, keep pushing. You're a creative. And us creative people go through this all the time, even when they make it. Look at Robin Williams, Kanye West, Phyllis Hyman, J. Cole, etc. Rick Ross said he wrote verses for 10 years before he got noticed. So just keep pushing. And I appreciate that. So that's pretty much a good gist of everybody who was telling me stuff from the pre-release, and they were just sending me words of encouragement. I want to let you know that I appreciate you heavily. I refrained from using your names, but I will give a shout out to everybody who said something. I just didn't want to officially quote what you said to give any higher value to one person than the other, because essentially I do value everything that everybody said. So yeah, as far as the post-release goes, I really think that was a smart marketing scheme in order to like release it on my birthday. Because as I said earlier in the video, the high traffic from people already wanting to talk to me turned into a good conversion rate for people checking out the song. I received comments like, you ain't had to go so crazy on the trombone. I was like, it was hard to pull off all day and some dead lips. Anybody that plays a brass instrument or something, you understand. Really anybody that's been in the band, you know how like face fatigue goes. He said, man, he bets. But the bass line goes hard. And he said, I did what I had to with this one. I said, I appreciate you. He said he already listened to it 4 times on repeat. Some people ain't even tell me happy birthday, and I ain't even have to send them a message saying, did you check out the track? My homie said, bro, Apathy is a vibe. Got this joint on repeat. A good friend of mine said, this was everything. And come on, vocals. I'm definitely a shower singer, but you know, I do appreciate the comments with somebody saying, said something about the voice. When I asked my big Brody if he checked it out yet, he said, tapping in now. Yeah, this is hella relatable, bro. No cap. The chorus, you already know you snapped on the instrumentation. The tempo change and the guitar solo, Paul Neal made another one. And the bone was groovy too. I don't even need to bring up the bass line. Yeah, this on repeat. A good friend of mine said she already checked it out. And she watched the video on Insta. I'm pretty sure she was talking about the IGTV. And she was like, you're just making moves and I'm here for it. And I said, I'm trying. I really am trying. But yeah, little bro said, yeah, Apathy is the story of my life. I mess with it. He said it's like a nice little funk groove pieces. The instruments go crazy in there. They all complement each other. The trombone solo and the guitar solo was very appropriate. And I appreciated that analysis. Appropriate was a nice term to use. A good friend of mine said, it's so good. I'm glad that you included vocals. I think you got a nice singer voice. Slow you roll. I really enjoyed the song, is what she also said. I said, I got a nice singer voice. I'm glad you like it. She said, yeah, your music is really good. I liked everything that you've released thus far. And I said, that means a lot, especially because I really just started. As I told you, like I've been doing music for a minute, but as far as like releasing music and things of that nature, that's only been like the past year and some change. So it's a lot for where that's coming from, and I'm only trying to get better. The good homie said, Apathy goes dummy, you mad man. Didn't even say happy birthday, like. And I actually appreciate the people who didn't tell me happy birthday, because literally that means they really understood what I was trying to get at by releasing the song on my birthday. Like that was the gift that I wanted to receive, the critiques of it. So I appreciated the people who really was just like, here's the critique. You know what I'm saying? That was my happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? But he said, Apathy goes dummy, you mad man. He said the retardando. For those who don't know, a retardando is a slowdown, a slower change in tempo. In no particular order, shout out to Darius, shout out to Leslie, shout out to Brandon, shout out to Lauren, shout out to Keisha, shout out to Carrington, Shout out to Diamond, shout out to Angelique, shout out to Darrell, shout out to Kay, shout out to Gabster, shout out to Keyshawn, shout out to Caitlin, and shout out to Porter for y'all's amazing critiques. I really do appreciate it. It really goes a lot further than what y'all imagine. Like, I'm definitely content with where I am with my progress as far as my music career has gone, you know what I'm saying? And it's only going up for here. If you haven't already checked out the single, the link is in the description, the caption, or whatever the terminology for this platform is. If you like any of my content, be sure to check out the other stuff that I have. I really have YouTube playlists for beats, YouTube playlists for covers. That's pretty much it. So I mean, check out those things. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.